Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I am so thankful to have you here on my channel. If you are returning, I appreciate your continued support, all of your likes and comments. It really goes a long way on my channel, so thank you. If you're new, welcome to the family. I'm so happy to have you here. So today's reading, we're going to be looking into your person. And what I mean by that is we're going to be kind of analyzing your person psychologically. And I find this interesting because I think a lot of times we we have intuitive hits about the people that we're involved with, but it can be useful to have someone confirm and expand upon what we already intuitively were picking up on someone that we're involved with. And I think it just helps us get a better understanding of who we're dealing with, and some reasons for why they are the way that they are. So that's what we're going to go. Sorry, that's what we're going to be going into today. There will be an extended reading where we'll be going into your person's feelings for you and we'll be getting messages from them. So if you're interested in that, I'll have it linked down below. There are 3 piles for you to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the blue calcite crystal and the pastel journey tarot. For pile number 2, we have the black obsidian crystal with the way home tarot. For pile number 3, we have the clear quartz crystal heart with the Dreamy Moons tarot. So go ahead and take whatever time you need. We have 3 beautiful tarot decks. You may have more than one pile that you'll resonate with. It could be 2 different people, or there could just be similarities and messages across the piles. Of course, as always, take what resonates, and you don't have to agree with or pick up on any messages that don't feel right for you. So I think it's just a good disclaimer to put in there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I will have the timestamps linked down below along with the extended readings. But without further ado, let's get into your piles. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the blue calcite crystal and the pastel journey tarot, this is going to be a reading where we're looking into your person and we're going to look at what you need to know about them, what's most helpful to understand about who they are as a person, what's going on in their life, and anything else that comes through. I'm going to leave it fairly open to spirit, but I just want the most important and useful information to come through about the person that you have in mind. I do want to put a disclaimer. It's possible that you could choose yourself in this pile, so if you do that, maybe you want to listen if you find it interesting, or you might want to just pick a different pile. So I pre-pulled these oracle cards to get the overall energies. And before I go into the cards, I do want to let you know that there will be an extended reading if you do feel like this resonates and you want to know how this person is specifically feeling towards you. I'll have it linked down below. So let's get into it. So I pulled the Destroyer card and the Judge for your person's energy. And right off the bat, what I'm getting from this is these cards are pretty intense. So we have black and white and yellow running through this. And so there's a feeling that um, the way that they are allows them to make very difficult decisions without being too emotional about it. Like, I feel like this person can really get down to the heart of an issue and make the right decision, or make the decision that has to be made, even if it's people aren't going to like it, even if it's difficult. There's almost like this like no BS feeling that I'm getting from this energy when they're in the light energy. There's a sense of them being able to see through people pretty well. I'm getting a pretty intelligent energy. This looks like an owl or it looks like an owl or some kind of animal coming out, but there's a fierceness to this energy and a feeling that they, I'm hearing like aren't afraid of death or aren't afraid of repercussions in a way. Like there's a feeling of them being pretty fearless. Yeah, so we'll get more into that. But I could also see this hardening them. Like there's almost like in shadow, I could see this being something where maybe they have a hard time being compassionate. Like I feel like sometimes this person, maybe when they're in a more shadowy element, maybe they're a little bit too cutthroat. Even it could go that direction where this person may at times seem a little bit heartless. But yeah, let's see. What does pile number one need to know about their person? I am going to be taking reversals for this. I found that reversals can sometimes just give me more specific messages. So kind of just depends on the day whether or not I'm feeling like taking reversals, but today I am. But just don't worry about them too much. I'm not taking them as a negative. I'm just seeing them give a little bit more intricate of a meeting. All right, so for pile number one, what do they need to know about their person? And I also want to say, I think it's really funny that you guys chose this deck for this person, because it's almost like, I feel like this might be your energy more, and like this person's energy just feels like the opposite of this, so it's funny. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know about pile number one's person that they're thinking of? Yeah, look at this. Page of Swords coming out. Yes, there's a sassy energy. It's not sassy, but there's kind of like there's a defensive energy about this person. Like, I feel like they may lead that way. This person may be very witty. Yeah, you may feel like they're very like, they may even use like humor or intellect as a way to not feel, is what I'm getting, or to not have to take things too emotionally seriously. I'll decide if I'm going to take it upright, by the way. Yeah, Seven of Swords here, too, in reverse. Okay, a lot of air energy coming through. So your person could have a lot of air in their chart. Aquarius, Libra, and what is also air? Aquarius, Libra, why am I forgetting? Oh my gosh, you guys. In my mind, there is no third one, but there is. Oh, Gemini. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay, so they could be an air sign, though. I feel like this person, they operate very much in their mind. Okay, and I'm kind of getting a little bit more of a shadowy energy now, like coming from this person. Like, there's a feeling that, yeah, they may truly be out of touch with their heart. I'm not gonna lie, but let's get some more. Three of Swords. Oh my gosh, as I'm saying that, yes, this person, okay. This person is extremely blocked off from their heart chakra. I was getting more downloads of the Seven of Swords, though. Like, there's a feeling of them, like, I feel like this person could say really damaging things to people. Like, there's a feeling of them sometimes, sometimes thinking that intelligence or wit, being right, being clever, being strategic, being intellectual, um, it is their higher. It feels like it almost like is their higher. It's like what they worship, you know. Like, there's a feeling of like this person being led by that, or they're very like focused in that way. It's like some people you can tell are very heart led, like they move with their heart. This person moves with their mind in a very strict way, like a very analytical, precise, like um and then with the Seven of Swords being in reverse, it's almost like this person maybe deceives themselves that they don't need love, or there's a feeling here that they tell themselves that they, yeah, there's a feeling that they feel like they don't need love, or this person's very protective of themselves, and they're kind of out of touch with themselves. I'm not going to lie, because there's a feeling that they don't really see how a lot of their mind structures and the way that they see the world and the way that they think is actually ruled by some sense of trauma or some sense of pain that they actually have. Um, and there's maybe even a feeling that, okay, what I'm getting kind of a cynical energy from this person. There's a feeling that they're very cynical, and they kind of move through life like with a hard edge, or like always, like almost an energy of, you know, I know that there's no, like, I know people are naturally bad. Like, I know people. Like, this person almost feels like they don't give much benefit of the doubt. There's a very strict energy about them where it's like they are overly critical of things because they almost assume the worst, or they're always preparing for the worst, assuming the worst. They've almost like settled for a kind of sad worldview, or a worldview that really excludes like um like, I don't know, like a future vision. There's almost a feeling that this person doesn't necessarily think that people or society can move in a better direction. It's almost like they've accepted things as they are, though. And so there's almost an energy where they're a realist. That's what I'd say. This person's like very much a realist, and they don't seem to be trying to heal their heart. Like there's a feeling that they kind of are stuck here, or they think that this is, they don't believe in healing is something I'm getting, or they are not motivated for it. I don't know if believe is the right word, but they don't seem to recognize that they could feel happier. It's like there's this energy of like being kind of miserable sometimes, and thinking like that's just the way it is. Like I'm not going to fool myself into thinking life is rainbow and sunshines. Like they're very determined, and they're very they see through bullshit, though. It's like this energy of like, because they don't see life through rose tinted glasses. This person it is intelligent through that. It's like nothing passes them. Like they're not, it would be hard to like con this person, because yeah, they see the world as a difficult place. I'm not getting that they're super manipulative. It's almost that they feel like they have to be on edge, or they have to be on alert. Like they can't, I'm hearing you can only trust yourself. Like it's like that kind of energy. All right, what else is pile number one need to know about their person? Yeah, we had the Chariot, and I was seeing that. Like this person is very determined, and they have a strong willpower to them. Like they aren't easily swayed, and I'm almost seeing like this person, it's like if they have a goal in mind, or they have something that they want to do, it's like they know that they have to climb, they know they have to strategize, they know that they have to be prepared for the worst, they know that they have to, that, what am I getting? I'm getting just like all these weird sayings, like, this isn't going to pay the bills or something, or like, singing and rainbow and sunshines and like childish things. Like it's a hard world. Maybe this person had to grow up really early is what I'm getting to. There's a feeling that they had to, maybe this person was left alone a lot as a kid, or maybe they grew up in an area that was like required it, like a city, or like something, maybe a more difficult upbringing where they kind of had to learn to look out for themselves. If they want success, they know they have to look out for themselves, and they haven't really been coddled. Like this person hasn't been coddled. And so, yeah, I'm getting quite an avoidant person, because I remember what's coming through my mind right now is this TikTok that I saw, and it was like, does it ever bother you when someone is like saying things and they're kind of like looking for sympathy or something, and then it like bothers you because you know that you didn't get any help with that situation? There's almost this energy of them having to go at it alone, and having wounds about that, having wounds about not having been supported in some way. But the way that they handle it is kind of this ego around it, like this ego of like, well, I just do everything, hyper independence and disdain for the world. It's like they projected their pain out on the world, and like now they just have this disdain for it. But deep down, their heart is really like hurt, is what I'm getting. What else for pile number one? I'm seeing just like how this Three of Swords is also over here. They almost feel like everyone, like it's a broken world is what I'm hearing. It's like they think that everyone else is just as hurt, and things like that. So they have just a very kind of difficult mindset. And I could see this being painful for you, especially if you see the good, especially if you're like the opposite of this person, potentially. I feel like a lot of you guys maybe could be more empathetic types, just naturally, but sometimes we're attracted to these types of people that are very not heart-centered, because we sense that there's that pain in them. So that could be the situation here. Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it's like there may have been someone in this person's life that was really cutthroat with them. Like the Queen of Swords in reverse can be quite a difficult energy to be around. It's someone who takes boundaries and takes intellect and things like that too far. It's like, I think they grew up in a really judgmental environment as well. So this person is very judgmental of themselves and other people. They're constantly moving through the world in a judgmental, analytical way. And you know how the mind is constantly technically judging things by saying like, okay, I need to make logic of this. Like I need to put this into a set of blocks that I can understand. Like that's basically what learning is. It's like the mind is built to separate. The mind categorizes things, naturally. And so in some ways that's helpful, but I feel like in this situation, they feel like the only way to succeed is by being this way, or by expecting not being naive. Like this person prides themselves on not being naive, and I could see like a naive energy like irritating this person, mainly because it's like one of those situations where their own shadow, it's such a projection thing where this person would see someone maybe acting more carefree or acting like more in touch with their inner child, but like let's say that they're not as concerned, or they're not whatever, like let's say that they got something wrong. I'm trying to like put this into words. It's like, imagine if they see someone that's like more carefree, whatever, that would trigger this person because a part of them is like, I didn't get to be like that, so you shouldn't either. And they almost want, they almost have this like disdain for the world. Like they want, it bothers them when they see that because there's almost this energy of, you just wait, like, you know, that's just naive. Like one day you're going to be so hurt that like you lose that shine in your smile, and like you lose your own like light, like just accept it. And so there's almost this energy of this person maybe sometimes like accidentally hurting people or cutting people down because of their beliefs being so intense. And the fact that this is just not the case, and that there's so many strong people that are able to maintain an open heart and heal from things, you know, it's like there's a feeling that they just don't see it that way. And yeah, and they're just so driven by, look at how many swords we have, you guys. Like it's insane. All right. What else do we need to understand about this person, Spirit? Knight of Swords, you guys. Oh my god. And then the Hermit in reverse here. Wow. Oh my gosh. And then we had the Hermit and the Ten of Pentacles underneath. I think that's kind of funny. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person suffers with some sense of anxiety. With all these swords, I feel like this person's, I was about to say mental health disorder of choice. Obviously, it's not of choice. Of like what they'd be most prone to, I do think would be anxiety. And I think this person really struggles, number one, to see things from other people's perspective. So that's something that if you guys are dealing with this person, I just want you to know that they may really have a potential to hurt you if they haven't already, because they don't see that they're wrong. Like the Knight of Swords is someone, like this person literally could be summed up by the Knight of Swords energy in like in every way. Like in some ways this person has honorable traits. Like I want to say that there's an impressive sense of analytical skills, knowledge, self-preservation, and independence that this person has, but it's just on overdrive. And I feel like this person is very threatened by any experience or person that tries to push them into not having to be this sourpuss is what I'm hearing. This person has a real ego around being the sourpuss, like around being cynical, things like that. And I think this person has a tendency to say things to people that are really hurtful. I know I've said that, but I don't know if they said it to you or if you know this person saying things to other people. It's like they just see the worst in people. But this person's also very perceptive, I want to say. So they're very intelligent. I feel like they're very good at reading people. I feel like they're very good at seeing where people are lying to themselves. And I think this person's become strong through their childhood of being observant of people. So I bet this person has a really good sense of humor, or that they're very witty. I think they have a dark sense of humor as well. But in their light elements, I think that would be a good, I don't even know what I'm saying, I'm like not finishing the sentence, but I think that's something notable about this person. But with the Hermit here, there's a sense in reverse, especially, there's a sense of over isolation and self-protection. This person misses out a lot on genuine relationships and connections with community and people, and like the world at large. It's like this person has really isolated themselves through this mentality all their life. And so I feel like this person is the type that maybe felt like the lone wolf, or felt just like they were different. I'm just getting a real, like kind of a rebel energy. A rebel, but especially the Destroyer here, it's like they almost think that they see the flaws in everything, you know? This person is very good at looking at like a person and picking out every single one of their flaws. I do think they see the good parts of them too, but it's like almost like their brain is more wired to see where someone is lying to themselves, see where someone is acting to their ego. Like this person's enlightened in that sense that they see people very clearly and they're very aware of shadow. And they're also very aware of like what's kind of BS, you know, about life, or like corporations, things like that. I feel like this person would very much be aware of that. But there's also an energy of this person going kind of corrupt with that, where it's becoming too much a part of their ego rather than it being something that, because some level of that energy is good, right? To not be in like groupthink, and to see and to want to activate change. Like we need this judge energy, and we need this energy to see through facades so we don't repeat them. And it's like this person is like, well, I'm not gonna associate with them. But then there's a feeling that they overgeneralize people, like corporations. I don't know, I keep getting corporations, like groups of people, groups of friends, like social organizations, things like that. They're really critical about them. This person's so critical about everything. And what was I going to say with that? It's like the criticalness that they have of, it also applies towards relationships. So it's almost like what's coming to my mind, thank you, Spirit, is like the example of anti-Valentine's Day. It's like this person would cringe at stereotypical customs around relationships, like being sweet, or like PDA, or I don't know, like love letters, whatever's like a stereotypical thing that's like a part of a structure. It's almost like this person would be like, that's stupid. It's just like the corporation like making money on the candy. And even though we all know that that's like, yes, Valentine's Day was made up by whatever, I don't know, like the candy corporations to make money, like it's still, we still celebrate it, because if you so want to, you know, we can't say, what I'm trying to say by that is there's no need to rain on everyone's parade. And if people are getting joy out of it, they're getting joy out of it. And it's almost like one of those things where it's like, yes, ignorance is bliss can go too far, but a lot of times like making the best out of situations and choosing to be happy, and like choosing to make something fun and the best it can be, is a good thing to do. And it's a hard thing to do. And I think what this person almost doesn't recognize is sometimes they take the easy way out by being cynical or being pessimistic or just being judgmental. It's like, you want to know, it'd be a lot harder than that. Is this person actually dealing with their wounds and sitting down with themselves and being vulnerable with another, or sitting down with another person and being vulnerable about what hurts them? It's like this person almost is too above that. They put themselves above vulnerability and above needing support from someone. Or yeah, and it's kind of like a Grinch energy here that I'm getting. And so deep down, this person is hurting quite badly, but there's so many layers of like philosophies and judgments and things that like really impact how this person operates, is the best way I'd want to say it. So let's get some more on this person, see what else comes through. What else do we need to understand about pile number one's person? We have God here. And it came out in reverse, by the way. So it says, light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Yeah, it's like this person, I was getting, it's like I feel like this person doesn't believe in God. I'm just going to say, which is like, you don't have to. I'm just saying this person doesn't believe in God or a universal thread that's benevolent, right? It doesn't even, benevolence and compassion. It's like, yeah, there's a real energy, and I can even relate to this. I feel like when, this is like random, but when I was in high school, like, or when I was younger, I didn't really have much of a spiritual or religious background. Like I was very atheist, as you might say. And I just remember that cynicism that came with that, and that feeling of being almost afraid to say like what if, or afraid to be um to fool yourself. That's what I was always afraid of when I was younger too. I was like, I'm not going to believe this just because people want, like, I would always say like that people just want to say this themselves to feel better, or they're delusional. It's like I was like, they can't handle their own pain, so they just want to make up something like Santa Claus, you know, like it's the same thing as Santa Claus, things like that, which I don't believe that now, obviously. But despotism and cruelty. What's despotism? I almost want to look up that definition. but yeah, there's a feeling of cynicism is at least what I want to say, using power to control people. Yeah. And it's like almost like if you don't believe in the animating force of like unconditional love, that God, whatever you believe in, like God, the universe, even if you are atheist, like you could still kind of have this general feeling that there is a benevolent force behind this. And it's, even though there's so many terrible things that go on in this earth, and um that really want to make you lose hope in humanity and make you want to lose hope in, yeah, humanity, people, love. It like makes you want to give up. It's like this person hasn't really found that connection with spirit, or that connection with um with that, so they can't really heal. It's like and I understand this energy, because I feel like this is maybe like more what I related to when I was younger. But um with using power to control people, this person sees the world that way. It's like, it's not that I think they want to take part in that, but they do see the world where, like, any organization or any person, it's like this. It's like someone could try to do something nice for this person, and they'd be like, well, what do you want? What are you trying to get out of it? It's like they don't believe that people really do things without an agenda, or they assume that there's an agenda. They assume that true kindness, or what's the word for it? Unconditional love, but it's also like just doing something out of the kindness of your heart. Like that's a real need. Like people really do that. Like that exists. And like I almost feel like this person doesn't really believe it, or yeah, but because of they don't believe that, like imagine how disconnected that makes this person feel from themselves. Because this is just my belief and doesn't have to be your belief, but my belief is, or my experience too, is that once I like connected with this understanding that um there's a benevolent force, like the universe has your back, the universe is looking out for you, and spirit is guiding you, things like that. Like before I had that, like it felt really hollow and empty, and there was no hope, and like just it's a dark place to be. Because then also when you don't know yourself, I want to say as God or as spirit, you don't know yourself as a part of it, like a part of the puzzle piece, you can't love yourself, and you hold yourself accountable for this, I want to say sins. I'm not even religious, you guys, but I'm just use the word sometimes. It's like then all you have is holding yourself accountable for the sins of humanity. And Jesus came here. Jesus came here to give us this light, right? And give us this taste of unconditional love. And theoretically, like what was there before Jesus, and just if you're a different religion, it doesn't really matter. It's like there's this light of unconditional love, and there's this light of spiritual like knowledge, not just knowledge, but like spiritual truth, and universal love being the main lesson. We could say Jesus, or we could say universal love came, an understanding of unconditional love. And it's almost like this person is still operating pre-Jesus. It's like according to the like legacy or whatever. It's like before Jesus came, it's like there was no, everyone saw people as rotten, and no one was forgiven, right? It's like this person lives without forgiveness. That's what I want to say. Yes, that's literally it. It's like this person hasn't integrated understanding forgiveness. I'm like just repeating it because it's so accurate. This is like what a person becomes when they haven't forgiven other people and they haven't forgiven themselves. This person hates themselves, and they hate, and it's reflected in their judges, and yeah, hates themselves in their same judgment and hate that they feel for the world, because they haven't forgiven anyone, and because they don't really believe that there is a light behind everyone, and everyone is the light, and like that's what I believe. And um it's like this person hasn't tapped into that, and so it's like they can't feel it, they don't feel that as true. And so this person really really can be destructive, because they're out of touch with this. And it's not something that you can make someone see. It's like when people are ready to wake up and open themselves to unconditional love, it's something that like only they can really act like. It's up to you. Oh my gosh, look at this, child orphan as well. Literally, it says independence based on learning to go at it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Yeah. And so this person prides themselves on being independent, remember? So there's this feeling of them, they had a hard time growing up, they weren't treated well, so they've taken on that pain with them, and they still act through that place where they they still feel very much alone, and they don't feel like they belong in the universe. They don't have those feelings, and that's really difficult to feel that way. And so it's like this person, um this person's only respite is in their ego, their ego telling them, it's a wicked world, and like they don't think they are that way, though. In a way they do, in a way, but it's like the best thing they can do is kind of try to make themselves above that, or strategize through it, or have strong judgments of it. It's like whenever we judge something, we're trying to like make our ego bigger. It's like, oh, that's bad, and because I see that as bad, that makes me good. It's almost like this person kind of operates that way. And I want to say, I don't see this person as like a really bad person or anything like that. It's just that this could like help you understand like the reason why they are the way that they are, or the reason why they say the things they do, the reason why they treat people they do in relationships, because this is meant to be a relationship, like reading. And so you're just meant to understand that this person's missing that, and they end up hurting people because they haven't integrated a sense of unconditional love and a sense of forgiveness for sins, or like whatever you want to call it, like unforgivable things. It's like, it's just the same energy of like when something really bad happens to some people, you have a choice, right? Either you can stay dark and let that turn you dark because it was so bad, or you can rise and find forgiveness. Even though you don't condone what was happened to you, you still find forgiveness. And I think this person is still pretty far in this energy of ego, and not recognizing that they themselves, that there's another reality. It's like this person doesn't really understand that this isn't the truth. They see this as 100% the truth. They're actually sure of it. They probably argue it to you. um, but they isolate themselves through that too. And I think this person's actually very unhappy. And so I actually have empathy for this person. Of course, it's like it's difficult, and we can all understand. We've all tasted this type of archetype in our own lives, I feel like, where things have kind of turned us dark or like cynical, and it's like we just want to cast it as the bad thing, basically. So yeah, that's what I have so far about your person. This almost could be a really long energy check-in, but I am going to go into now how this person is feeling about you. I'm very interested to see that, because I don't think this person's very good at expressing their emotions. But yeah, we're going to tap into their deeper emotions for you. What this person can't express to you too, like what's in their heart for you, what's truly there. So we're going to look at that in the extended reading. So if that sounds interesting for you, I will have it linked underneath the timestamps. But I hope that you found this informative and interesting. I really enjoyed connecting with your energy. If it did resonate, please do make sure that you hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Black Obsidian Crystal and the Way Home Tarot, first off, I want to say good choice. I just got this deck and I'm very excited about it. I love this yellow kind of sunshine back of the card. So anyways, this reading is going to be all about your person, where we're going to kind of analyze your person and hopefully confirm any of your intuition about them, give you more insight to who they are, why they are the way that they are, and kind of give it to spirit to let you know what you need to know about them. So yeah, it's going to be more focused on them. For the extended reading, we are going to go more into their feelings for you specifically. So if you really feel like this resonates, you might want to check that out. But for today, we're going to get just into the YouTube topic. So I pre-pulled these oracle cards. I'm going to flip them over now. We're just going to use these throughout the reading to give more context. So we got the Mentor, the Shaman, and the Self. All right, Spirit, please have me into pile number 2's person. What do we need? What does pile number 2 need to know about their person? I am taking reversals today. Don't worry about them. I take them with a grain of salt. It just helps me get a little bit more detail. So yeah, I'm going to use that for this part. All right, Spirit, please have me know, what does pile number 2 most need to know about their person? What they maybe not understand, or what they need clarified. They need to understand about this person. Oh, and by the way, if I mean, it is possible that you could choose yourself. So if that happens, and being reminded just by the self being here, if that happens, you might want to listen. Usually that happens for a reason, but if not, you might want to pick a different pile. We'll see though. All right, so pile number 2. What do we need to know about their person? Ace of Wands. High Priestess in reverse. And you want to know what is really interesting? We have the Sun of Wands in reverse. What I'm getting, what I got immediately from these cards coming out was really interesting, because at first I was like, is this going to be pile number 2 themselves? Because we have a lot of spiritual energy, I would say, coming through already. But there's kind of a feeling here of this person actually being quite spiritual, or being like an old soul, being someone who has cultivated spiritual powers, as you might say, or spiritual knowledge, understanding in previous lives. And I feel like they're carrying that with them, but I almost get this sense that they haven't really tuned into it in this lifetime, or they don't know about it. There's something about that. Like with the shaman here being here, it's almost a feeling that they are familiar with that. Like their soul is familiar with it. But with the self being here, it's almost like I'm hearing right now that it's like this lifetime they're presenting differently. Maybe more masculine with the Sun of Wands and the Ace of Wands coming out, and the High Priestess in reverse. And that's kind of confirming what I was getting, is like, it's almost like they're not 100% in tune with their intuition in this lifetime, but they usually are. And it is still with them, but there's almost a sense of it being maybe blocked by embodying a more masculine energy this lifetime. Yeah, Daughter of Wands. This is Page of Wands. So a lot of fire energy coming through. Five of Wands again in reverse. There's a very competitive energy coming through. This person, I even can think that they maybe even sometimes get an ego about their intelligence. Because with the Mentor here, it's like, in the light attribute, this person is very intelligent. And it's like they have a lot of knowledge that they almost were born with, is what I'm getting. Like they're wise. I feel like this someone would be good in leadership, or they would, it's almost like they're wise beyond their years, or they've been that way for a long time, but it's almost like they still present in this more like masculine, feisty energy that's kind of like egoic, you know? So it's kind of weird. It's like there's an energy of this person's ego being like feisty and like feeling like they kind of know the answer to things. Like with Five of Wands in reverse, it's almost like, because they're less in tune with their feminine energy, it's like they're more prone to disregarding other people's perspectives. It's kind of like this energy of like this person feeling very like self-assured. Like I feel like they make quick decisions. They may even be a little bit impulsive sometimes. Like that may be one of their shadow attributes, is being a little bit impulsive and argumentative, or like not really open to taking in under other people's like point of view. It's like they kind of just go with their gut in a way. And it's like they have this sense of intelligence that I feel like they use, but maybe it doesn't make sense to other people, or it's kind of like they are defensive about it. Like there's this energy of like, I know what I'm doing, like don't tell me what to do. And it's like I feel like this person wouldn't be able to explain where they get their like knowledge from though. Three of Swords in reverse here. Wow. Okay. And then the Mother of Cups in reverse. Yeah, there's a feeling that in this lifetime, this person's very cut off from their emotional body. This person with the Three of Swords in reverse, it's like, you know what? Like I'm even getting the energy of maybe a more divine masculine here. And I feel like with the Self being here, there's a feeling that they came into this lifetime to like we all have, like on Earth, knowing that it is. So this is kind of like an existential reading here, more ethereal, but like there's a feeling that they came to experience more aspects of themselves. So it's like almost a feeling that they've already mastered a lot, is what I'm getting spiritually. But in this lifetime, they decided to set themselves up to be more reckless and to be a little bit more hurt. And it's kind of interesting. It's like this person chose for this lifetime to be difficult so that they could learn more, is what I'm getting. And so I feel like if you're someone who's like romantically interested in them or whatever relationship you have, I do usually have the intention that it is that, but it's almost like there's a feeling that you know this person's deep because you sense it on a soul level, but there's a feeling that they don't express it very much um, in their 3D self. But it's very much there. This person feels it, but they're very blocked off to it. And it's with the Three of Swords here, it just makes me feel like maybe something difficult may have happened to them early on in life. And I'm almost getting a feeling this person may have ADHD. I don't know, like that's just kind of coming through randomly. But there's a feeling of them oh, and look at this like volcano. There's such like an explosive energy about this person. Yeah. It's like this person bottles up a lot of their pain and emotions. And I feel like the way that they show it is like aggression almost. Like this person, I don't know if they show this to you, but I think that this person maybe struggles with expressing their emotions in any way besides frustration or like anger or yeah, it's like they don't feel very comfortable in their emotional body. And with the Three of Swords here in reverse, there's just this feeling that something really bothered them in childhood is what I'm getting with this Mother of Cups in reverse. They may have issues with the feminine energy. They may have had a feminine energy either in their childhood or early on, like an early relationship that really caused them to mistrust emotions and mistrust moving in that way. And so I feel like this person follows their spirit, follows, like, it's not their watery intuition. It's almost like fire representing spirit. It's like this person has almost an uncanny ability to know what decision to make and what they want in life, if that makes sense. But they move in a kind of like sporadic way or a way that's very impulsive, and they go to where what makes them feel passionate. And then it's almost like they bulldoze through. I'm getting a lot of Aries energy. Like this is giving me like an Aries vibe. It's like this person incarnated in this very fiery energy. And so something I'm also getting from this spread is like there's a feeling that they're a little bit stunted in their maturity and the way that they express themselves, because we have the Son of Wands and the Page, or we have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. And it's almost like in order for this person, okay, what I'm actually getting, it's like this. It's like this person has the innate ability to be very wise, like the King of Wands. This person has King of Wands potential in them where it's like they could be this inspirational person that just knows how to kind of be like a entrepreneur, or like they just know. Does that make sense? But something about them being a little bit out of balance within their emotions, and maybe acting through pain and not understanding why they react the way that they do. It's like their potential is my hands are like shaky right now. I don't know why. But it's almost this feeling that they are frustrated by not being able to be their full potential until they go through a maturing process where they're able to handle other people's emotions better. There's something about them not being very good at handling other people's emotions. Like this person may shut down very easily or run away. I would definitely get a runner energy from this. There's a feeling that they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be influenced or controlled by other people's emotions, but it's almost like they can't harness their power or step into their full potential in this lifetime. Being the King of Wands energy is what I'm getting from this person until they balance out this pain. And it's interesting that it's in like a time capsule, and it's reminding me of like the Two of Pentacles. It's like there's a feeling that they need to balance it out before they can be completely mature. It's like there's this immaturity coming through, but a high potential. It's like high potential but immature is what I'm getting for this reading. And I'm even getting that their soul is very mature, like has a lot of wisdom, but right now they're just in a different lifetime. I know I've already expressed that, but this person's like current lifetime, it feels like they're learning how to temper themselves, or how to deal with a more it's like they're really embodying the masculine in this lifetime is the best way I could describe it. And like the impulse, look at that warrior comes out. Let me get some of these guys to go a little bit further into it. What do we need to know about pile number 2's person? We have Poet, says expresses soul insights in symbolic language or turns lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. And that's really interesting because like what I'm trying to tell you is like this person, they're really interesting. It's like they have this deep receptivity to them, this poet energy where they sense the connections between things. Like they see the big picture with the shaman and the mentor and the self. It's like they see the connections through the world and they're very wise. But I almost feel like it's like imagine a very like in one lifetime someone went from being like the mentor or the well-respected person. They may have been very poetic, but I feel like as a younger person in this lifetime, it's like they maybe sometimes use their soul gifts to be destructive or to be negative, turning a lyric gift. Yeah, and so like that's that Five of Wands energy, is like this energy of like they're needing to tame themselves. But on a soul level, this person is incredible, honestly, like incredibly attuned to like seventh chakra sort of energy, like the connections of, it's like knowing the world as through oneness. This person knows that, but they haven't quite accessed it or settled into it or grounded their energy yet. But they have a lot of potential. Again, what else do we need to understand? We have Prince. So it says romantic charm and potential for power. Literally potential. Literally. It's like this person has so much potential. Oh my gosh, yeah. And I'm also getting like kind of like a bachelorette vibe, like a vibe of someone who, I'm getting two examples. Like the vibe I'm getting for this person is like someone that went to like Harvard or something and like they're super smart and they could be a doctor or whatever that would be like helpful for society. But there's almost this energy of them becoming a menace through them being like, let's say they're attractive. And this person, I do get a sense that they are attractive. It's like they're attractive, they're super intelligent. They have the give of the gab. They're very entertaining to be around, but it's almost this energy of this person not quite having learned how to use their power for good. It's like, and I was trying to say, it's like they have this power to them. Romantic charm, potential for power. This person has so much potential is what I'm getting, but using power for self-aggrandizement, meaning that they kind of use their intelligence, they use their intuition for the wrong reasons, and so this person may sometimes even present a little bit manipulatively, and it may be super confusing for you because I think you may sense this deeper layer to this person, but it's like they haven't understood how to tame themselves. And I'm just getting the energy of someone who still needs to grow into, I'm hearing like the man or the woman even, like that they are meant to be. Because I'm getting kind of a player type energy, or like, because Son of Wands in reverse, certainly for me at least, would represent like someone who is more interested in short-term relationships. They kind of go wherever the wind takes them with the Ace of Wands as well. It's like they're constantly looking for new excitement. They also like to see like what they can experience. It's like this person wants to keep experiencing like more shallow things or like more exciting things, but it's like almost like whenever they're challenged or things get serious in a dynamic, I do feel like this person runs. Like I feel like there's this energy of them like not being open to positive conflict. So this person could be frustrating because it's almost this energy of like, I'm not here to like cooperate. There's this energy of not being cooperative, because it's almost like, okay, like you're going to disagree with me. I don't need to spend my time here. It's almost like I'll go find something that's entertaining for me. It's almost childish though. It's like a little bit of a childish thing. It's like, they could be someone who's capable of compromising, capable of a very stable relationship, but because of this wound that they have, it's almost like they don't see the benefit in. It's like while let's say this person's younger, like I would get that this person's like from anywhere from like 20s to like 35, or like they could be older and they're just still kind of in this younger stage. Maybe they, you know what I mean? Like some men I do feel like stay in this like younger bachelorette energy, but I'm getting such a bachelor energy, where they they put up a really good front. There would be a lot of excitement when you meet this person. Like, I feel like this person is very capable of a lot of chemistry. This person's very down, if that makes sense. Like, they're very down to like have fun and hang out and maybe even physical things. Like, I feel like they'd be down for that. But there's almost this energy of like, as soon as it gets serious or like there's like any relationship gets deeper, there's moments where you have to go through conflict management to move forward. And it's actually a positive thing. But the fact that it's in reverse, it almost tells me that whenever this person is faced with like conflict, they shut down. Like, they really shut down, because it gets too emotional for them, because it's almost like then they have to be responsible for other people's emotions. And I'm also hearing maybe that's something that it's like something they don't want. I don't know. It's almost like they became the opposite of themselves. So like with the shaman, it's really interesting because the shaman is someone who's very able to have a high capacity to be and the mentor to be in tune with other people's emotions. And you can't be a mentor and a shaman unless you're like willing to connect. And so I think this person's already mastered that. And in this lifetime, it's like they're playing out this different narrative where they are very non-cooperative. And it's kind of funny. I'm even getting the energy that like, it's not funny for you if they hurt you, but I'm saying it's funny for this person's spirit guides, like, because I feel like this person is going to leave this lifetime and be like, oh my God, like that was crazy, like that was so unlike how I usually feel, but like I'm glad I got to experience it, if that makes sense. But I do think one thing this person's working through, it's like, imagine that this person in other lifetimes was, I don't know why it's going so far back to other lifetimes. Maybe even this is a soulmate of yours or something, but like there's a feeling in past lifetimes, they would have been set up to be emotionally deep. They would have been set up to be more receptive. In this lifetime, they were set up to be hurt and not receptive. And so it's like they're almost challenging themselves further to return back to a more receptive state, to return back to this more expressive soul insights and symbolic language. Like, instead of using that for bad or using that for, their own gains and relationships. And almost like I could see this person even being a little bit tricky, or like they know how to get their way. I'm also kind of getting like that immature energy where it's like this person either wants to get it's my way or the highway, like not in like an aggressive way, but in like a childish way, like a way where it's like they're going to play games if they're not going to get their way in a situation. Yeah, and I could see that being frustrating for you. All right, let's get some more information. What else does pile number 2 need to understand about this person? We have dependency in reverse. Okay, and so with dependency coming out, I'm going to get one more, and then I'll go into one more. Protect your heart. Yeah, look at this. This person is super guarded. It's like there's this energy of them being afraid of people relying on them or something. And I was getting that perhaps it could have been a wound in a past life. Maybe they were hurt really badly by someone that they were mentoring or responsible for. There's almost this energy of like a past life wound around people being too connected with other people, maybe even being a little bit enmeshed sometimes. And so there's almost a feeling maybe they got really hurt by early on in life through a codependent like mother, father, or even like friend or relationship. There's just something where this person maybe ended up getting really hurt. Yeah, like getting really hurt through being intimate and engaging in relationship. And so there's almost this feeling that they are constantly avoiding things getting too deep where dependency could occur. It's like this person's terrified of that, and they're acting to protect their heart from the pain that comes when they feel rejected. Like this person, for example, it's like there's a feeling of them like if there was a more lower vibration feminine energy, or either it would be a feminine energy that I feel maybe took advantage of this person being connected with them. So like that would be enmeshment wounds, where it's like, imagine that someone kept emotionally manipulating them, or like making them feel like they're not good enough, or making them feel like yeah, kind of rejection wound, or yeah, exactly that. I hope that makes sense, where it's kind of like when you become avoidant, it's usually because or in this case, it's not always, either you were not given very much love by your parent, or there could be an enmeshment wound. So I feel like there was an enmeshment wound in this one, where they've kind of learned that they can be taken advantage of if they let people become too dependent on them. I want to get this one deck if it's out right now. Ooh, yes, it's right here. I want to see what this wound is kind of about. Spirit, what is this wound developed into, please? What is this wound? Three Swords. Oh my God, this is literally the exact energy. I'm like so happy. Thank you, Spirit. So like the energy is, I forgive myself for taking from others when I'm concerned I may not have enough for a future moment in time. And so there's this energy of them. It's like, this is the narcissist ego, where they're afraid. There's another narcissist card that like is almost the reverse of this, or it's very similar. It's like this person, yes, okay, sorry. This person very much goes around in this lack mentality where they're kind of protecting their resources. Like this person's afraid to give too much. Number one, because they're afraid that then other people will expect a lot from them. Like they're afraid to get too attached. And so because there's this scarcity mindset about like giving of energy and things like that, it's like they will kind of go around to different situations and I feel like extract energy from it. And so it says, I choose to believe that I'm constantly being moved towards what is meant for me in life's unconditional support is not only unwavering, but unending. And so, yeah, this person may have this fear. They may have this fear that people will turn bad or not turn bad, but like they're always afraid that people will walk away from them or reject them. So it's almost like they would keep their options open and kind of keep exploring different things to avoid taking from others when I'm concerned I may not have enough. It's like this person will take other people's time. This person will take other people's emotions even. It's just like kind of a little bit of an energy vampire there where it's like kind of like they don't really feel, it's the classic, like they don't fill up their own cup or they don't feel 100% in tune with the unconditional love and energy of the universe. Like they don't really connect with that. So there's a feeling that they need to take from other people. This person's definitely a taker. I'm going to get one more of these. One more, Spirit. Can you please explain this? One more. It says, I forgive myself for feeling as though I must see it I must see it before it is safe to believe it. I choose to believe that I choose to believe that, oh my God, I choose to believe, okay, oh my God, sorry. What I choose to believe is a powerful driver of my experience and it is safe to explore a perspective that is more aligned with the reality I seek. Yeah, and so I almost feel like sometimes this person is kind of moving through with this scarcity mindset, and I think that could really hurt other people. They have a hard time trusting their intuition. That's a message I kind of miss is what I'm getting with the High Priestess in reverse. It's like in conflict, this person may run intensely because it's like even if they have feelings for someone or like let's say their intuition is like pushing them towards you or anything in life that like spirit is like, yes, like go this direction, there's a feeling that they can't trust it. It's like they'll feel really passionate about things, but then they start doubting themselves. This person like really second guesses themselves a lot. And so, yeah, there's almost this energy of them always trying to take and get the one up on people because they live in the scarcity mindset. They live in this world where they're not sure if they'll have enough or if the person that they get connected to will continue to provide for them, or are they just going to take? Is it a trick? Like there's almost this energy of this person being on edge or not knowing whether or not people are out to really be genuine with them or not. And it's like kind of leads them to perpetually doubt everyone and they just can't trust their feelings for things. They feel like their feelings will betray them. And that may be something from their past, like something like that. Look at this, literally trust. This, I just cut the deck and went to this. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I really think that's something that this person's working on. And then we have worry too. And there is that overthinking energy too. Let's get one of these, please, Spirit. Acceptance. It says, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Yeah, and then this person may get a little bit controlling too. Like there's kind of a little bit of a need to be in control. And yeah, it's like this person's terrified of something happening, like them getting hurt or something like that, because it's like there's this energy of like, I can't surrender, like I can't just accept it, you know. There's almost this feeling, yeah, they're too afraid to give up control, because then something could happen that they can't control or change, and then they need to practice, or they need to know that even if things go wrong, um, they can heal from that. And there's almost this thing that's not healed within them. There's this something from their past that really is not healed, that's really causing them to want to control too much of life, or feel like they have to, you know. It's like they feel like they have to do that. Like the universe won't just support this person. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up so far for your person. If this sounds like them, you may want to check out the extended reading. We're going to look at how they are currently feeling about you. I'll have it linked down below. But if you did find messages in here that were helpful or resonated, please do like this video, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys think. I love to see that and get some feedback from you guys. So I hope to see you guys soon, and have a great rest of your day. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the clear quartz crystal heart and the Dreamy Moons tarot deck, this is going to be your reading, where we're going to be looking at everything about your person. It's going to be more focused on what you need to understand about your person. We're kind of going to be analyzing them. So this is definitely a more like psychology based reading, where if you're interested in kind of confirming how you feel about this person, and it's kind of nice to get a third party to help you get confirmation on what you already thought about this person, and hopefully help you expand your understanding of the person that you have on your mind. For the extended reading, we're going to be going more into their feelings for you, or not more into, the whole topic will be their feelings for you, and we'll be getting messages from your person. So if you do feel like this resonates, that will be available. I'll have a link to it in the description box. But for now, we're going to get personal with your person and see what spirit wants to explain about them. So I pre-pulled this oracle card here. We got the ring. So I'm just going to use this to supplement the reading. The first kind of things that are coming through with the ring here, this feels like a deep connection that you have to this person. This may be someone that, even though you may not feel like you're super similar to them, there's a feeling that there's this deep connection between you and them. And even though there's something about, even though it doesn't look like it makes sense, it's there. And so I could definitely see this connection with this person being confusing, because maybe they're not your usual type, or maybe maybe it's hard to trust your intuition on having a connection with this person, just because I definitely feel like it's more of a spiritual connection here. And so sometimes in the 3D, it can be confusing, or it can almost feel like, I don't know, like I'm just getting that feeling of like maybe doubting yourself and doubting what you think about this person. And so I feel like this will be a helpful reading to kind of go into and help hopefully solidify anything that you already believe, and help you understand them better. I don't know why I'm basically repeating the intro, but anyways, I will be taking reversals for this reading, so don't worry about them. I'm just using them to get a little bit more detail. I definitely still take the energy of the card, but it is useful for me to see if it is in reverse, especially, yeah, just gives a little bit of a deeper layer of detail. So Spirit, what do we need to know about pile number 3's person? What is pile number 3's person's energy like? Who are they? What do we need to understand about them? What do we need to understand about pile number 3's person? We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Or this is actually the Queen of Swords. So the crystals in this deck are the swords. Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. I think that came out in another pile too. It was literally pile 2, so. Alright. Ace of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So far what I'm getting this feeling that this person may have a hard time making their own choices sometimes. This actually was also coming up for pile number 2. But so you may have messages in that, but there's a feeling here with the Queen of Swords coming out in reverse. There may have been a really critical person in this that they grew up with. I feel like they had, I think this person had parents that were really hard on them, or an ex-partner. There's someone coming through that really made this person doubt themselves. It's like this person will get excited about something and maybe want to pursue it, and like maybe their heart and soul is calling them to it. But then with the Ace of Wands being in reverse, it's almost like I think this person has lived a life that is more concerned about what other people think about them, or they felt like they have to follow some sort of societal guide, or they have to really worry about the opinions of other people. It's like sometimes this person puts a fire out on their own passions um, to please others. What else? Polymer threes person. Knight of Wands. Yeah, but this person is very passionate, and yeah, I'm just getting this feeling that they have these. I'm getting this energy of someone growing up and being like a really like I just watched Matilda recently, so it's kind of on my mind. Or I ended up watching the original one because the new musical came out. But there's a feeling of this person having had a lot of natural impulses and things they were really drawn to, and like ways of expressing themselves they're on this like unicorn too. And so I feel like this person used to be a lot more obviously as a kid. Like this, there's something about this person's inner child coming through. Like this person's inner child is actually very spontaneous and very explorative and courageous, and not and likes to take risks and things like that. But there's a feeling that someone was like, sit down, like have your manners, like don't do that, don't do that. I'm getting this energy of like, don't do this. Or and so there's almost this like repressed energy that this person is coming through with. We have the Knight of Pentacles and Strength. Yeah, look at this. The Knight of Pentacles, it's like someone in their life was telling them, don't be the Knight of Wands, be the Knight of Pentacles. Like, sit still, don't do that. And the Knight of Pentacles is known to be very practical, reliable, moves very slowly, moves very thoughtfully. And oh, and another thing I'm getting is like Princess Jasmine. Like, how Jasmine or any archetype of like someone who grows up in like royalty that has very controlling parents, and then they want to be something different than what the parent wants them to be. Like, let's say they have to be the king or something like that, or they have to be they're going to be the queen. And so there's this feeling of you need to get yourself in line, like things like that. Like, and so then I feel like this person was always frustrated growing up, and I feel like there was a lot of pressure on them to become something that was not necessarily authentic to themselves. And so this person maybe is very deep in that right now, where I feel like maybe you may sense that there's something underneath this person, or some sort of impulses that they have, or feelings and things like that, but it's like they may not follow through on them, because I feel like they were taught that strength is not acting on like anger, or not doing anything impulsive. Does that make sense? So this person was very much taught lessons early on. Like I feel like their family structure really impacted the way that they can express themselves and the way that they move through life. And in the name of being strong, in the name of being in control. And so it's like this person sees strength as being cautious and being held back and being yeah, I'm just getting kind of a repressed feeling about the way that this person has grown up, or the way that they are now expressing themselves is muted. What else do we need to understand about pile number three's person? Six of Pentacles here in reverse. And then the star at the back of the deck. I'm getting this image of this person who has like this inner child that just deeply wants to escape or wants healing. You know what I'm also getting is if you guys watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, Toph, the character Toph is like this. It almost reminds me of Buddha too, like Buddha's story, like how he grew up always in like the rich life, and like they shielded him from anything that was like dangerous, things like that. But Toph kind of has a similar story where she's blind, and so her family's like very protective over her, but she's like this badass like earthbender. And it's like, imagine if Toph gave in to the lifestyle. If you guys have seen it, it's like she ends up joining the main character's journey, right? And so she becomes like a huge part and like a huge like Avenger energy, like she becomes like a hero. But in the beginning she was meant, they told her to not do anything. They told her to like stand back, like don't act on these impulses. And then she like secretly learned how to earthbend, and she was like behind the scenes going to these like places where she would beat up all these like really tough men, and she was like this little girl that was blind and just super good at earthbending. um but anyways, there's a feeling of that, like this person having this inner fire, this inner power to them, this inner hope even for the world. It's like this person started off with a very active inner child, like someone who had a lot of hope and was very like dreamy in a way, and um had a lot of nonsense. Like this person enjoyed that. But then there's a feeling that um with the Six of Pentacles here in reverse, there's a feeling that someone that was gatekeeping, um there's a feeling here that there were like maybe their family was wealthy, or they were just very controlling of the resources. But sometimes the Six of Pentacles can represent like someone who has all the wealth, right? And so I feel like there may have been like a more like an energy where it's like, okay, if you did this, then we're taking away this, like we're taking away your resources, you know? And so it's like this person had to learn to quiet down their what they want, you know? It's like this person had their own wishes and their own things that they wanted, but then there's this feeling of them needing, if they did that, there was like a punishment, there was like less given to them. This person would receive when they were in line, and which is obviously like a very abusive kind of a dynamic. But yeah, there's a feeling that they needed to act like everything, that they were happy and act like they needed to be a certain person to gain the affection of people in their childhood. um and there's something about this person learning that strength is in power, strength is in control, and things like that. Like and there's also this energy of like we don't associate with like certain people. Like there's almost this energy of like exclusiveness that I feel like they grew up in. Like I don't know if this person, I don't know if they grew up in a rich community, something like that, or like there's just a feeling of we don't associate with that. So if you're going to do that, like we'll disown you, you know? Like there's a feeling of really strict energy about this. Okay, so I want to see spirit and how it, look at this Avenger. I was like just saying Avenger. It's like desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on society. Um, okay, I'm gonna look at how has impacted this person. So what else do we need to understand about how this person is due to this? Spirit, what else do we need to understand about pondering through this person? What was that? I just want to see. Teacher came out. We have mother. Yeah, something about their mother. Seriously, look at this. Oh my gosh, it says smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Is like someone that was supposed to be nurturing. I'm getting like an intense mother wound here. Like someone who is supposed to nurture into patience, unconditional love, like whatever you do, whatever you love, or whatever you like in life, or whatever you want to be, we support. There was an energy that at a very young age, I'm looking at this baby, they were forced to they were manipulated emotionally for making their own decisions or for rebelling. It's like there's a very like conformist energy here. And yeah, smothering, and that's what I was getting. You know how I was saying that it's the smothering energy, because you know I was talking about like Toph, like it's her parents wanted to smother her and like keep them safe, and like they didn't want them to become independent, and so there was a very controlling space that this person um, grew up in. And so spirit almost is just like focusing on that even more. um and I think this person has a fiery nature to them. Like there is this rebellious nature, and then there is this part of them that's knows that this isn't right, or knows it wasn't what they wanted, but they were forced into it when they were young. And then there's a feeling that this person may have really turned to animals. That's something I'm getting. So this person may have a really special connection with animals. But there's a feeling of, I'm getting with this strength card, it's reminding me of Jasmine, where you know how Jasmine's like forced to stay like in that area, and then Aladdin comes in and is like, I can show you the world. And like Aladdin's this like the opposite of Jasmine, you know, it's like he's free, and he's like this like free spirited person. And it's like I think deep down Jasmine like always wanted to experience that. And so there's this feeling that that's what they want. And I'm also seeing this infinity symbol here in this ring. Yeah, and so this is kind of going more into you, but there's a feeling of you being maybe different from this person. It's like you remind this person of their inner child's desire to turn this Ace of Wands and this upright and go back into their Knight of Wands energy. And it may be really triggering for them because there's a feeling, there's a subconscious fear of stepping out of line. And you may tempt this person to do that, something like that. One more, Spirit, from this. But we'll go more into it for the extended what their feelings are. I just want to dig into this person. We have Hedonist. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. Pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Indulges at the expense of others. Yeah. There's a feeling of gatekeeping. And there's a feeling of, I swear this person must have grown up around money or something like that. And look at this. Hoarding money and emotions. Obsessive fear of losing your wealth. This person was taught to like there's a feeling with the hedonist coming out that's very much confirming that energy of, think about how like Buddha or like the people that are trying to like, I'm even getting like Hunger Games, like the capital energy, like the energy of them like keeping all of the rest of the society very much separate, and there was no resources for them, right? Like all the capital had like the most money, and it's like there's this feeling of don't rebel, you know what I mean? Like that's like the whole point of the movie is like don't rebel, don't act, as long as you follow the structure, as long as you stay within the elitist like mindset, and you don't like go against Snow, you know, like then you're good as long as you're in the capital, but everyone else suffers, right? And so there's this feeling of this person not really agreeing with that, not really this person would have wanted to explore. This person would have wanted to meet other types of people and have a more holistic like energy towards others, you know. This person wanted to explore, but there's a feeling of them having to stay put, and there was this lesson instilled in them like if you don't, then there's a scarcity mindset. It's like this is the only way that you get to experience luxury, and we have all the food, we have everything we need, like we have all the money and stuff like that. And it's like there's a feeling indulges at the expense of others, and there's this energy of hoarding goods and not sharing and being elite or something. It's like there's just this feeling of like this sickening energy that I think this person had to be around. It's like imagine if you're in the Hunger Games and you grew up in the capital, and it's like imagine if Katniss grew up in the capital, like she would have hated it, you know. But there's a feeling that if you were a kid, you have nothing, you can't rebel as a kid because you're dependent on your family and your parents and things like that. And so there's an energy that this person has this like layer to themselves that's very conditioned into them. Oh, and what's really interesting about the ring is that it talks about how there's oneness through everything, and how there's like a connection between yin and yang, us versus them, like in group versus out group. And so there's a feeling that this person was planted in that sort of environment, but they were meant to take on the traits, but it was going to be a shadow trait of theirs. And so there's a feeling that one of their karmas, or not karmas, but almost like one of their soul purposes is to break out of that and teach people, not teach people by example, against this kind of energy. You know, it's like there's a feeling of them being like not the Robin Hood, because they would come from the poor. There's a feeling of them being within the elite, but also but needing to overcome that. And so there's a feeling that this person's shadow is when they feel like they have to just go with the status quo, and like they have their mother's voice or their father's voice in their mind like telling them what to do, and there's this fear that if they don't, they'll go without, like they'll be poor, like they'll suffer, things like that. And it's almost like this person, and this will be on a spectrum for all of you guys watching, it's like at their worst, this person would turn to hedonism and would cling to things in the material, and this person could become really materialistic. But deep down, their soul is trying to fight against that. But I feel like, of course, we all fall into our shadow at some point. And so this person, I feel like what Spirit wants you to know generally is that there is a phase in this person's life where they're meant to enact this, what they've learned, and then they're meant to decide that that's not true strength, that that isn't really who they want to be. You know, they don't really want to be this person who just hoards material things and doesn't relate to the rest of society. You know, they feel that something's wrong about that. And so this person's like archetype is in this lifetime is like a journey to um a different system, or standing against the system, doing something different while they're in power, because I feel like this person would rise mainly, I want to say, through like privilege and connection. Though, like there's a feeling that they would have all these opportunities, and so no doubt this person will be successful, because I feel like that's what they're being bred to do. I want to say, um yeah. And then look at this, it's like it's all about entrepreneurial creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. It's like there's a lot of materialism in this pile, and a feeling of this person having lessons to do with that and having this intense energy instilled in them. So let's see. Let's get some more. What does pile number 3 need to understand about this person? And you may see through them. That's what I'm kind of picking up on, is like there's a feeling that you would see through this person, and like you would know this isn't them. And I definitely don't think this is you. What's really interesting is this card just came through, and I'm going to take it because I saw it when I cut it, and then it was at the bottom of the deck. It says honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And so I think something that this person is needing to grapple with is this energy of either they can lie to themselves that they're satisfied in this life where they're conforming and not really being their true selves, and everyone else can be lying to them. And I feel like there was a lot of dishonesty to this person, and kind of like not gaslighting, but just manipulation, propaganda is what I want to say, like literally propaganda that I feel like this person has had to ingest in a way through their family and like their societal conditioning. And so it's like I think this person's seen the holes in it, and I think this person intuitively knows that there's something really wrong with like the way that they were brought up and things like that. And so it's like there's this feeling of them needing to accept that like you can't always accept, you have to accept that sometimes people around you are going to make their own choices, and it's their free will to live their life this way. But you can't lie to yourself about this and accept and act like you're happy in this when they're not. And so there's this feeling that they're not truly satisfied in their life until they're able to overcome this hurdle and let go of this materialistic idea and integrate more freedom and diversity into their life, and risk taking, things like that, everything that they were taught against doing. Let's see, let's get one of these guys. Can you clarify this energy, please, Spirit? It says, I forgive myself for thinking others should also be excited about what I personally find to be interesting and worthwhile. And like that's so cute and sad, because like that's what I kept picking up on. It's this person's inner child being excited about things, like being like, I mean, like Power Rangers or like something like that, like something that they're like excited about. It's like, oh, I want to go like explore this culture, like something like this. And it's like, then everyone around them be like, no, like, what are you doing? And then they be rejected. So it's like, there's this feeling that they have to rely on other people for approval. And so it says, I choose to believe that my preferences are a unique expression of who I am. And the star's also Aquarius energy, right? Very unique energy. It's like this person's at heart an Aquarian energy. It says, I choose to believe that my preferences are a unique expression of who I am, and I may experience deeper fulfillment and clarity when honoring my desires independently. Yeah, so this person is needing to learn independence and learning to not lie to themselves about succumbing to a lifestyle just to please other people, you know, especially if it's like not really fulfilling to their soul. So we have Leo energy here and Aquarius energy, lots of fire energy as well. That's what I'm picking up on. All right, so that's what I'm getting so far for just analyzing your person. If this definitely sounds like your person, you may want to check out the extended. We're going to be looking at how this person is currently feeling about you, but I hope that this reading was able to give you more insight and hopefully clarify any intuitive feelings you had about this person for the reason why they are the way they are. If it did help out, please do hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. I love to see what you guys have to say. Yeah, I'm going to move it now into the extended, and I hope to connect with your energy again sometime soon on this channel.